What is up, wrestling fans? This is Kayfabe Chronicles, and I am your host, JP. Well, we got a lot to discuss this week, but mostly it's going to be revolving around the entire Mae Young Classic 2 coming up in a couple weeks. Lots of great women have been added to the roster, as well as some other news leading up into SummerSlam, and it's all coming right now. Hello, and welcome to the live stream. This is Kayfabe Chronicles, and I am your host, JP. Well, it is Sunday night, it is 8 p.m. Central Time, and it is time to talk about some wrestling. If this is your first time here, please stick around for a little while. Partake in the chat room to the left-hand side. And also remember, if you like what you see, make sure to crush that like button, hit subscribe, and click that bell notification for every single time we post videos or go live. We go live every single Sunday night at 8 p.m. Central Time, except for pay-per-view nights, where we will always go on after the pay-per-view. And if you haven't already, make sure to check us out on our Facebook page and our Twitter account. How are you guys doing tonight? All right, I see we already got some stuff already going on in the chat room, so let's take a look. Oh, hello, Elizabeth. How are you? How are you today? One of our best viewers. You are here with us every week, and I appreciate it, and I am fully agreeing. I posted on Twitter that I'm still patiently waiting for Jazzy to be added to the Mae Young. I bet she's going to be the last person. I guarantee they're going to be like, all right, we have 31 people, and Jazzy. Yeah! And the world will rejoice. The world will rejoice. But yeah, I'll definitely be talking about the Mae Young Classic a little bit later on in the show. But yeah, how are you doing tonight? Today was really hot. Today was bizarrely hot up here in Canada. It makes no sense. We're like snowland, and it's hot. I don't get it. Mind blowing. All right, so we don't really got too much other stuff to talk about today. So we're just going to start it off, keep it very simple. In regards to some stuff upcoming for SummerSlam. It's coming in a couple weeks, and I'm excited, which is weird because I usually hate SummerSlam with a fiery passion. But yeah, boom! If you guys did not see, last week on Smackdown, Becky Lynch beat Carmella clean in the middle of the ring with the disarm her, earning herself a wonderful title shot against Carmella at SummerSlam. I am really excited for this match. Like, for the past year, Becky's been kind of like, wop, 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 wop. She hasn't really been doing a lot. She's been losing a lot. She was pretty much being used as enhancement talent, kind of pushing over the younger rosters, which really sucks because she's one of the best women wrestlers on the roster. She's great on the mic. She does a lot of charity work. She does a lot of autograph signings. She's just super fun. Her interviews are always hilarious. She just seems like a really down-to-earth person. So I'm really excited that they are actually having her in the main title picture. Why? Main reason is just Carmella. I'm just not feeling it. It's really weird. Like, I thought I would really enjoy Carmella as the women's champion on SmackDown, but for some reason it's not clicking for me. She's great. I love her heel work, but just something about her, it's not working. Like, she's still pretty sloppy in the ring. But like I said, I like her on the microphone. I like her interviews. I like her character, but just it's not working for me. So I really am hoping, as long as also with the rest of the world, that Becky is going to take this match. We need a change. We need something to spice up the women's roster on SmackDown. I think Becky with the belt is exactly what the world needs. Plus, she's just amazing. We just love Becky Lynch. She's just great. I just want to have coffee with her all day and eat hummus and discuss the greatness of quinoa. Quinoa is actually really, really good. Thumbs up to Becky Lynch and her love of quinoa. Oh, yes. I'll actually be discussing that a little bit later. That's kind of my sign-off. I got something really special planned for that. But yeah, it's a weird day in wrestling. Like, we lost a lot of great legends today, but I'm definitely going to touch base with that as we go on. But thank you for bringing it up. It is definitely a very sad day in regards to that. I have something special planned coming up at the very end. Don't you fret. Don't you fret. So also another thing leading into SummerSlam, which is kind of cool, and I'm going to discuss my predictions in regards to this, but it's the entire Kevin Owens, Braun Strowman thing that's going on right now. So on Monday Night Raw, they pretty much said they're going to fight again at SummerSlam. And if Kevin Owens wins under any circumstance, disqualification, count out, anything like that, he will get the money in the money in the bank briefcase from Braun Strowman. I do see Kevin Owens winning. I do see him winning. Just for numerous reasons. Because Braun Strowman does not need the briefcase. Braun Strowman's gonna get a title shot sometime in the near future. Doesn't matter. I seriously think Kevin Owens is going to take it. Roman Reigns is going to finally beat Brock Lesnar. I have a feeling. And then Kevin Owens is going to cash in and ruin the fun. Why? Because that's what Roman Reigns is to the people. He's just like, burr, 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 burr. And I would love to see Kevin Owens with the title again. I think like him as the Universal title champion, I loved it. Him as the U.S. champion, I loved it. I'm not being biased because I'm Canadian and Kevin Owens is Canadian, but just Kevin Owens is just better with a belt. Just something about him. Just him with gold around his waist just makes the world great. But Braun Strowman will get the belt by the end of the year. It just makes total sense. But I want to see a little small title run with Kevin Owens. But yeah, if Braun Strowman beats Kevin Owens, that would be really weird. Like, why else would they add a stipulation like that if they're not going to pull the trigger on it? But yeah, Roman Reigns is definitely not leaving SummerSlam with the belt, and neither is Brock Lesnar. Calling it now. You heard it from me. I'll repeat myself in my predictions video in a couple weeks. All right, now let's actually talk about why the heck we are all here today. And Mae Young Classic 2. Very excited. I loved the Mae Young Classic last year. Opened up my eyes to a lot of great women's wrestlers. A lot of them who I was already kind of familiar with in the past already. Like, I was very familiar with Kaylee Ray, very familiar with Viper. I hadn't really seen a lot of Toni Storm. Very familiar with Mae Young, very familiar with Mercedes Martinez. Never saw Rhea Ripley before. Loved everything about her. I saw Dakota Kai when she was Evie. Back when she was in Shimmer teaming up with Heidi Lovelace, otherwise known as Ruby Riott. But it was really cool to see her in the main thing. Didn't really see a lot of Kairi Sane. But yeah, you know what? I loved everything about it. I think this last year was absolutely great. I was a big fan of Kimberly, otherwise known as Abby Laith. I was very familiar with her work. I think WWE really dropped the ball in regards to her by letting her go and not giving her a full chance, but whatever. I'm just here just to say it. But yeah, really excited with some of the names that have already been announced for this year's Mae Young Classic, and I'm going to go over some of my, like, yes! But I see we got some stuff in the chat room. Let's take a look. Yes, I have no idea about pretty much of the women that were not already in WWE. Yeah, and granted, yeah, like, you know, that's completely fair. Like, me, since, like, hosting this channel, I really try to, like, get involved with all forms of wrestling. Like, I try to watch Ring of Honor, I try to watch New Japan, I try to watch Impact, I try to watch Shimmer, Shine, all that stuff. I try to watch international things just to kind of keep my mindset to not be biased just towards WWE. But yeah, you know, it's going to be interesting. But yeah, I'm going to jump into my predictions, and right off the bat, yeah, Io Shirai is definitely on my list. I've seen a few of her matches already. She's really fun to watch. A very heavy striker, which is great. I really love the Japanese style of just flat out just the whole strong style of just kicking faces in. I think she's going to do very, very well in this tournament. I don't think she's going to win, mainly because, like, Kairi Sane won last year, so I don't think, like, I'm not, you know, hitting the race card, but I don't think that I see another Japanese superstar winning this year just to kind of spice it up a little bit, but I do think she's going to go to the finals. I'm pretty sure she's going to make it very, very far. Some other names I'm really interested in seeing is actually Jessie Alaban. Brand new to wrestling, like, she just signed on with the Performance Center last year. She's a collegiate volleyball player. I've been kind of following her career so far with the PC, with the Performance Center, just kind of watching some of her stuff. I like her kind of nerdy character that she's kind of created. Her interviews seem okay, but I'm not familiar with her, so I'm really looking forward to seeing what she's going to do in the ring. I'm really looking forward to just seeing, like, a new character. I really like homegrown WWE people. I really like the people that they've kind of created, like you know, Charlotte Flair, Braun Strowman, Alexa Bliss. Like, I really like the people that they've kind of formed themselves, and she's on that list. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what she can do. A couple other big notable names. As Caitlyn. Caitlyn, former diva back in the day, very well known in the bodybuilding industry. She's taken some time off wrestling. She's coming back. I'm really looking forward to seeing what she can do. Nicole Matthews, my girl, my fellow Canadian. Love her work. She was an alternate in last year's Mae Young. Unfortunately, she never got an opportunity to actually have a match. Like she was a backup. So in case people got injured, she would get called in. But unfortunately, she did not make it into last year's tournament. A huge name that I'm really looking forward to see is Tegan Knox, also well known as Nixon Newell, who was in last year's Mae Young Classic, but unfortunately she suffered a really bad knee injury, very close to last year's Mae Young, so she had to miss it. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how she does in this year's tournament. Redemption story complete. I've been watching some of her work with Dakota Kai, like they're really good friends in real life, and they've had a couple tag matches together so far in NXT. Like during the house shows, so I'm really looking forward to seeing how well she does. Big name that they announced, big name, Meiko Satomura, huge female star in Japan. Like a little bit of an older competitor, like she's in her late 30s, but she's a legend. Legend in regards to the Japanese female strong style. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how well she does. I like watching the seasoned vets in the tournament, like Mercedes Martinez last year, Princessa Suhei in last year's Mae Young Classic. I really like seeing like kind of the older competitors still being able to hang with the youngins and just beat some ass. But like I really like her style. I've seen a couple of her matches before in the past, and she's gonna turn some heads, and she definitely still has it. I don't care what anyone says. But also this year, there's a lot of returning people from last year's Mae Young Classic. We got Kavita Devi is returning. She, of course, got eliminated in the first round last year in her match with Dakota Kai. I liked what I saw. Like I liked her power. She's got a lot of strength behind her, and with the proper grooming, I think she can do very well. So she's in the tournament this year. Tainara Conti's back in the tournament this year. She, of course, lost to Lacey Evans in the first round of last year's tournament. Very huge. I love her character work. She's a really good heel on NXT. Great judo background. I'm really looking forward to seeing what she can do. A couple big names returning. Mercedes Martinez, as I mentioned earlier. Mia Yim's also returning, which is going to be great. Both of them, tons of experience. They've both been wrestling a very long time. Both of them did very well in last year's tournament. Mia Yim went to the second round, and Mercedes Martinez made it all the way to the semifinal. She made it to the final four. Really looking forward to seeing both of them again. Reina Gonzalez is in it again this year, as well as Rhea Ripley. Looking forward to seeing both of them again. Rhea Ripley's really been growing on me. She's actually been tagging a lot with Reina Gonzalez. So I'm looking forward to seeing what they do. Maybe they might even end up fighting one another. That'd be kind of cool to see, like the tag teams always implode, like Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa in the Cruiserweight Classic a couple years ago, one of the best matches of the tournament. But I think the biggest name so far that has been re-announced is Toni Storm. Toni Storm made it to the Final Four last year before being eliminated by eventual winner Kairi Sane. She wrestled a couple weeks ago against Shayna Baszler for the NXT Women's Champion in the whole UK tournament event, which was great match. Looking forward to really seeing how Toni has grown in the past year. The thing I like most about her is she's only like 22 years old, and she wrestles like she's been doing it for 30, 40 years. Toni Storm is absolutely phenomenal. I'm calling the finals is going to be Io Shirai versus Toni Storm. I think Toni's going to find a way to find her way into the finals this year, and I think Toni's going to take it. I'm calling it now. I think Toni's definitely going to probably win this year, just because she's over with the fans. People love her. She's great in the ring. But then, as you're talking about, Elizabeth, Jazzy needs to be back. Like I said, I think Jazzy's going to be the final person announced because everybody loves Jazzy. Like you even saw in her tag match at the end of last year's tournament, just the entire crowd was cheering, "Please sign Jazzy, please sign Jazzy." She's beyond over. She's great in the ring. She's dominant to look at. Her interviews are phenomenal. Plus, she just recently came back from a huge injury. So this would be a great redemption story for her, for sure. But yeah, like I said, only 20 or so people have been announced. So there's still another 12 or so to be announced for this year's Mae Young Classic. Those of you who don't know, it's happening. It's being filmed in August. I think they're doing what they did last year, where it's being filmed and then they're going to show it a little bit of a while down, which sucks because I don't like when stuff is pre-taped because in the field that I do, it's very hard to avoid spoilers, which is why I love NXT, but I already know what happens weeks in advance. I love Impact, but I already know what happens weeks in advance. But maybe they're not going to do that this year. All I know is that the first 2 days are taking place in August, and then the finals is happening at the Evolution pay-per-view later on in October. That is all I have in regards to that. But yeah, super excited. Toni Storm is my girl. I think she's going to take it. But who knows? I might change my mind in a couple weeks. So yeah, who do you guys think is going to win the Mae Young Classic tournament? Let me know in the comment section below. Or if you're watching right now, pop it in the chat room. I already know that you think Jazzy's going to win if she's in it. And I hope Jazzy makes it farther than the first round this year. Granted, though, her match with Abby in the first round was one of my favorite matches of the entire tournament. Great storytelling in that match. Loved every second of that match. All right, that is all for me today. So yeah, like I always say, if you guys like what you saw, make sure to crush that like button, hit subscribe, and remember, click that bell notification for whenever we go live. As always, we go live every single Sunday night at 8 p.m. Central Time, except for, you guessed it, pay-per-view nights, where we will always go on after all of that stuff. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to the Mae Young Classic 2. I think it's going to be phenomenal. I'm looking forward to pretty much SummerSlam, which is weird because I usually hate SummerSlam. I know I keep repeating myself. I'm a broken record. But yeah, that is all I got. So yes, as promised, I have a little something special coming up right now. So yeah, let's just get going on with that. So yes, as always, this is JP from Kayfabe Chronicles, and I will see you guys next time.